So hi everybody. I thought it would be nice to tell you a little bit more about where Tasara is in her training. We started her in November with Joel at a clinic here at SAFE. He rode her on Friday, and then I got up on her and rode her a couple of days with him and have been doing all the rides since. I still have her saddled here, but I take her off. I never saddle her while she's tied. She's still a little bit nervous about when the saddle goes on, so I make sure that I take some time to rub down her girth area and go slowly with the girthing up so she doesn't become cinchy. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was a little bit of what we do on training to be tied. So once I have a horse gentle to using the flag and that they're okay with it around them, I will work on them while they're tied. So I wanted to show you what we do. So from a distance that's comfortable for Tasara, which might be this far, it might be farther, I just walk a line and use the flag. I don't put my energy towards her. I keep it away so that she doesn't feel any pressure from me. So at this point, the flag means nothing as I walk. So, and if Tasara decides to get a little bit nervous, I'll see where her comfort is and see how far I need to be out, for her to get used to it. And if she moves around a little bit like she is right now, that's okay. But if she was really upset, I would move farther away from her. I let her relax, and when she thinks that this is boring and means nothing, that's pretty much when I know I can stop the flag. If she was still moving and upset by it, I wouldn't stop. I would maybe move farther away, but I wouldn't want to end the noise that she's reacting to, because the point of the flag is to help her get less reactive, and that's something that Tasara has trouble with. She's very reactive, and we want her to be less scared about stuff and more feeling safe. The other thing that we do is we move them from a distance so that she feels my presence come in to ask her to change and yield her hind away from me. This does a couple of things. It allows us to move easily around her, and it also allows us to get her changing eyes while she's on the tie. So there's a moment when I go behind her that she doesn't see me. I go into her blind spot, and she has to change from right now she's seeing me out of her right eye to seeing me out of her left eye, which is something that gets nervous for a lot of horses. So this is an exercise we can do here to help her with that. So I will bring my energy around, and I'm shooting kind of for the opposite side of her that's facing the wall. So I'm shooting for her left hip right now. So I put some energy in there until she starts to move, and then I turn my energy off of her. So releasing her from feeling pressure from me. So I want to just get her to move just carefully around, and then I release my energy off of her. If I want to walk up and pet her until she's a good girl, I have to be careful about my angle with Tasara. If I was to come in too far in the front, I would spook her and make her run back. If I came too far in the front, I would shoot her forward. So I want to walk to the side, relax to her. I want to make sure that the flag is not an issue. I'm also watching, engaging with her, making sure that I'm not nervous or making her nervous, and if I need to adjust my angle, I will as I come in to tell her she's a good girl. She's also getting used to the flag, being tied up, and letting it touch her while she's around here. So I'll ask her to go ahead and yield those hindquarters again. I'll reach out and touch her with that flag and release. These are just a couple of things that are going to help her get more and more carefree or less reactive to anything that might come up and startle her from the backside, that she maybe on a trail, something spooks her from the back, maybe her rider puts a jacket on, all sorts of stuff that can happen behind her that we want her not to be afraid of. Another thing with Tasara is after she's been tied for a while, whether you're grooming her or whatnot, when you release her, untie her, and you go to take off, she's hot, she's ready to run. So be really careful when you undo her that you don't, you're mindful of her energy and you're telling her, just relax, let's walk off, because she'll want to kind of charge away. She also does that when we're walking through gates and things like that. So I always have to remind her to be with me, maybe to stop, maybe take a step and stop, back up a little bit, and then we continue walking, not to let her kind of bulldoze her way through stuff. So I'll come up here and approach her. My angle's good so that I'm not scaring her, and she knows that she doesn't have to be nervous. Good girl. Now she's gonna walk off like a champ and not even be nervous, but thought she might show you a little of her nerves, and she's been really good about it. Hi, girl. So with Tasara, sometimes she gets her own pace going and she wants to walk real big and fast. So a lot of the time when I'm leading her, we'll do a lot of walking and stopping and backing up just a little bit. So Tasara, she's like, oh, do I have to? There we go. So just kind of so that I can pick the pace. So I'm going to do a little bit of groundwork. We'll go down to the other end of the arena so you guys can see that. So we help Tasara get used to the flag by working on non-reactions to it. This is simply for me to use the flag in a means nothing at this moment. My energy's low. I don't have any sort of pressure on her. She's aware of it, but not reactive. If she reacts and gets all kind of going, I will keep it going until she calms down, and when she stops, I'll stop. The most important part is not to release the flag until she's relaxed. If we've gotten into a bad situation and she's panicking, for any reason, I would want to support her during that, so I'd be doing some changes of directions and things like that to help her focus in and realize that the flag doesn't mean anything. So I'll start at a distance. Maybe sometimes with some horses I need to start way out here because they're so nervous. Then I slow in, come in, use it, and we always do it on one side and then repeat it on the other side. As we get closer, then we come in, we give her a little touch. The first area that I always touch is near the saddle or where the saddle would be on the horse. As long as that's good, then I'll move to petting them down their back side, then up towards their neck. We'll do their feet so that they're used to it touching on their feet. And the very last place that I would ever touch the horse when I know they're okay is on their face. Really sensitive spots. So I repeat that on the same side, or on the opposite side. So we do one side, then we do the upper side. And it can get loud. It doesn't have to be quiet. But always when it comes in, it lands softly on her. So, and every time I use it, it's like a racket, overhand. So I go up, go down, up, go down. I might take it up and shake it a little bit so it makes some noise. Tasara's being a great star and showing us that she has officially been gentle to the flag. We'll get her going here in movement, and you'll see she'll liven up a little bit. So now I say, oh, my horse is broke to the flag. He's totally fine with it. Well, what happens when we step forward? So we want to make sure that we can have them going around. And this will be the same thing. At this moment, the flag means nothing. The biggest thing with Tasara is she knows if she comes in close enough, she thinks she might get out of work. So she often tries to turn her head and come in towards me. And all I have to do is just raise my hand up towards her eye and guide her to stay out on the circle. I might also use the flag in that direction and say, no, sister, let's stay out there. So she's pretty good with that flag. You see a little reaction there. So we know it's not all out. I also take it, make some noise up there, go down, and let her yield her hindquarters. The other thing with Tasara that we'll see is as I'm changing directions with her, she tends to get on the forehand. So when I change direction, I like to do the hindquarter yield. I like her to stop. I like her to rebalance backwards before reaching that outside front and asking her to bring the front around. So I'm going to do the same thing this side, a little reaction there, and moving forward. Good, little reaction there. So we just want to keep on asking her to find out that this flag means nothing right now. My energy is nice and low. That's how she distincts the difference between when I say it means something and when it doesn't. And that's something that with training and with time, she's just going to figure out. So I'm going to ask her now, keep walking there. We're going to bring the hindquarters over. Ask her to back up and change my rein in my hand. So I'm ready for the new outside reach. And then we go along. We didn't reach too well on that side. Let's try it again. I'm going to yield her hindquarters over. Good girl. Ask her to back up. We're going to sing the same side. We're going to reach that outside foot, cross the front, and start the new dart. That was a lot better. A couple of other things that I'll do with Tasara to kind of help her get used to things. I'll toss this flag over here for a second. Is use the end of the rope. So I've been doing things like smacking the ground with the rope, telling her it doesn't mean anything, the noise. I always come and I pet her on her forehead. I pet her soft, quietly. I want her to feel like when I give her space like this, where we're together, I'm offering her something, and that something is peace and quiet and relaxation. And so I don't want to slap her, I don't want to rub her hard. I want it to be like the softest touch she has, right? Ever felt. So I'm just nice and soft with her and let her know that I care about her and I'm with her there, and we're going to be a good team. So that thing makes a lot of noise. I do that on both sides. Good. While she was backing up there, I just kept the noise going. I didn't change it, getting any louder. Just waited till she stopped, relaxed, and then stopped it. The other thing I'll do is I'll toss the rope up on her. I'll take it by the loop and send it up on her back. This has it land softly on her, so it's not like I'm throwing it at her, but that she can feel it come up and land somewhere on her. I'm going to offer her to go forward. I'm going to take that loop, hold it at the end, and toss it up on her back. So you can feel that just land lightly. And it means nothing. I don't have any energy towards it. I'm just tossing a rope. Sometimes when she gets a little bit nervous, she might get my float in my rein. See how my float disappears? So I'm going to ask her to stay in with me and bend just a little bit. Stay in. Keep my float in my rein. As she takes it away, I just ask her to stay bent. Just a little bit of a soft stay with me. The way I take up the rein is as soft as I want her to respond. So I just use every little finger slowly turning around it to say, hey, give to me. Keep that float. Keep that float. Keep that float. Yield in her hindquarters. Come to her hind end in time with that inside hind foot. As it leaves the ground, I can push it around and farther up underneath her midline. I change hands, so the rein's in the new outside rein. Backing up, looking at her left front now. Ask it to reach and step the right front across. Again, ask for her to just give me a little bit of float in that rein and keep it. This is going to be the same when I get on when I ask for the unified circle. So she's able to go around in a nice circle, keep shaped up around me, nicely bent. Keep the energy up, that she has a nice pace in her walk. Come down the inside rein, yield the hindquarters around, and come all the way to a halt. Ask her to back up so that she rebalances on her hind. And that was a good girl. I also do some fun things with her. I want her to be kid-friendly, so I've been doing things like, oh, pony, and running up and giving her hugs. First time I did that, she almost came out of her skin. Oh! She says, oh, you're a silly kid. What if I jump up on you? And I shake my chinks to see if she reacts. She says, you are a silly kid. She's a sweetheart. Good girl, Tasara. A couple other things that she's still a little nervous about are the fringe and the strings on her saddle. So when I pick those up and just let them drop, she kind of goes, what was that? So I just go up and I play with them, play with this. She's nervous. I just sometimes, if I can, reach out and pet her. That kind of gives her some support. Get the fringe. Shake it up there. Good job. Pick up the stirrups. Wiggle the stirrups. Say, I'm bouncing around in my saddle later. Anything that can kind of help her just figure out that her job's just to stand there and be relaxed. Good girl. Backing her up, probably at a pretty good angle there to see this. Because she's gated, when you back her up, she'll gate in the backing up, so she'll have that 4 beats. And we're really looking for a true backup to be 2 beats. So I'm going to ask her to back up, and I want to see that she gets 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So she gets a true backup instead of kind of dragging her feet and doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want her to feel engaged backwards. So that's another thing we do. She's a pretty good girl today. I've taken the rope off of her. I can do that and show you guys a little bit. She tends to not have any sort of reaction, but it's good to do it. Put that off. Again, we're not going to rope any cattle off this little tiny horse, but I think it's important that she gets a chance to feel the rope swing around her, touching her. If she were ever to have a saddle pad on the back, that like a camping sort of thing, she might need to pack some gear and it might touch her on the flanks. So now you get to see my awesome roping skills. I don't know how the guys do it. Oh, so same with the flag. When I started her, I would just use it out at a distance so she could hear and see it go around. Realize that it doesn't mean anything. Let it hit the ground, make some noise. Wait until she stopped, then I can stop the rope. I got a loopy in my rope. How'd that happen? There we go. Girl. She's like, you're playing rope again. Good job. Just let it kind of come up, hit her. And this is the area right behind her flanks and on her heel, near her hocks down here, right above, and I want her to be okay. Something's gonna touch her. Ask her to walk on a little bit, because again, just like the flag, in motion, things are gonna be a little bit different. Gets a little tight there, you can see as it gets on her, she gets a little tight, so I want her to not react to that. Lift and drop, get in, get out. In, get out. Ask her to keep going forward. Good job. In, get out. Yeah. Go back up. Yeah. In, get out. In, get out. Girl. Again. I'm not worried if she has reactions, it's just something to work on. I don't want the rope to get underneath her tail dock, so I'm careful to let it drop farther down. Just kind of hitting her in the hocks, a little bit lower than the leg, lightly. better. Where my bad roping skills actually come into good practice for her. It's like every time I have something stuck, she's got to get used to me trying to fiddle with it. I'm gonna do that. Good girl. Change sides. That was a lot better than the other side. So sometimes the second side is as bad, or sometimes they get used to whatever you were doing on that other side, and it's okay. So good job. So one of the things that she's really good at, Tasara's really good at, is going off of feel. And so we start this on the ground and we work on it then when we get on the saddle. So when I ask her to go forward, I have a presence about what we're gonna do. So I offer open the rein that I want her to go. I increase my energy to say, let's go somewhere. And she reacts to that, and then I can relax my energy, but I still keep a feeling of walk. I don't just die out on her. I'm feeling like we're walking, because we're gonna be walking together when I ride her. And then when I want to halt, I'll take a deep breath and relax and drop down and see if she can't come with me down to the halt. So we work on bringing her up and taking her down. So I'll increase my energy again and ask her to trot. She picks up the walk, and then I go all the way up to the trot, increase my energy, bring a little bit of life in, and if I need to, I bring either the flag in or the end of my lead to say, come on, pick it up to the trot. And then I release down all the way to the walk. So we just repeat that over and over again. Up to the trot, down to the walk and haul. Up to the trot, down to the walk and haul. This is helping her feel increases in energy, and also how to come down and relax, because that's one thing that she really needs as a more of a sensitive hot horse. So Tasara has reached her teenage years of being a little bit more like, oh, maybe I'll be naughty about something. So recently she decided that she was going to be naughty about bridling. So one of the things that I've been doing is bridling her with the halter on. I'm going to show you how to put it on and be able to take the halter on or off after you've put the bit in her mouth. What's nice about having the halter on while I bridle her is that I can hold her face and bring her down and relax instead of holding on to the bit. So I can ask her to release and bring her head nice and low. She says, there, she released. I can bring it down from the knot. I can use the top of my hand on her pull. Say, sister, relax. She's like, a little bit of feel there. She's holding on. I'm just gonna wait until she releases. And I probably have like 10 pounds in my hand here. There, a little bit. There, a little bit. Now it feels light, and I feel like I just bounce like a basketball up and down. A little bit more there. Waiting for her just to relax the feel. There, got lighter. So every time she gets light, I get light. There we go. Good job. You can do the same thing here on the knot. She gives, I give. She gives, I give. You can also use the sides of the halter to hold. Ask her, release down. Oh, that one's a little bit, there we go. There we go. Okay, so a couple of things before I bridle her. I can put the rein on my elbow there. I want to be able to pet her on her forelock. I want to be able to put my hands up here between her ears. I want to be able to take my left hand, and this is where she's acting a little naughty. Pet her down her forehead, real soft and easy. And I want to be able to pet down over her nose. She says, I don't like that. I have my outside hand on the halter, keeping her down, but also keeping her a little bit towards me so that she doesn't turn her head away. So just go over the nose and get out. I get in, I get out. She says, I'm so sweet, I don't know what you're talking about. Naughty teenager. I'm not a naughty teenager. Over the lips, the muzzle. She's okay, getting her used to that. Hold down with the knot. I can go inside of her mouth, ask her to open her mouth. So that's going to be able to put the bit in. Open the mouth. Good job. Now when I put the bridle on, I'm going to put it on in kind of stages. I'm going to keep the reins all together so that I'm not putting the reins over my horse's head and then having her take off with the bridle halfway on her body. So it all goes on at once. So I just have the reins up on the brow area, or the crown of it, the bridle. Again, bring her head down, stand in and down, patting her on the forelock. I can open up the bridle and put it around her right eye. If she flings her head, that's okay. I'm here just to stay with her. I'm staying with you till you relax. I have the halter so I can kind of hold her and say where she's going. There you go. And I might take it away. Ask her to come back down again. Give to a little bit of pressure. Hold the knot. There you go. Good job, sister. Pet her on her forehead. Take my hand, open up, hold it just over that eye. That was a lot better. Girl. Comes down again. I have the knot to bring her needed. Petting her on the forehead. Open it up over the eye. It just kind of stays right there. This next phrase, I'm going to take the hand and swap so it's in my right hand. Now I've got my left hand to be petting her, telling her she's a good girl. Maybe go over that muzzle, which was a little sensitive before. The next phase, I'm going to bring it over the nose, and I'm going to take the bit underneath the chin. Now we just stay here. Petting her soft on the forehead, the bit's underneath the chin, just waiting. My arm should be between the ears here. Careful of her ears, they're sensitive. She's not too crazy, like she's fine with me petting her ears, but they are sensitive parts of the horse, so you don't want to be bending them and poking them. Good. I'm going to bring my hand down, go over that muzzle again, say, I'm right here, sister. I'm going to cup the bit in my hand, bring the bit up, use my thumb in the open spot of the mouth to have her open and slip her bit in. And we wait here. No time to rush, no reason to. Just pet her soft. Now I just take her ear, push it straight forward. I still have the halter to hold on. Keep it where needed. You have that on the outside again, don't you? There we go. Now I take the other ear straight forward and I have the bridle on. For the most part, she did okay. Raised her head up a little bit there when I went for the first ear, but I'd take that. Probably take it off, do it again a couple of times. It would be something good to do, even if you're not going to go ride, just something to do in the morning. Play a little bit with a halter even over the nose. That's still something she's sensitive to. So now I want to show you how to take the bridle or halter off. All you have to do is undo the rope halter. And then it kind of does a loop-de-loop. So this part, the nose band, goes inside her mouth and goes around the back side of the bit and slips out the bottom. That's how you release it. So she's nice and low now. I get to get on my knees for this. I bring this nice so it doesn't poke at her. Bring it down. There you go. It's gonna go inside her mouth, and I just take that knot and go to the back side of the bit, and out pops the halter. It's magic. It's a good girl. You just adjust your bridle as needed and you're off to ride. Good girl, Tasara. So one of the things that I do before I ride is practice the one rein stop. First thing that you want to make sure you can do is bend your horse. So I'm going to go down the rein and ask the horse to bend at 90 degrees. I'm going to use a C shape, kind of come out and around and back up. I stop my hand at about level to where the silver conch is on the front of my saddle, and then I'm waiting for her ears to go level. You see in this point right now, her left ear is a little bit lower than the right. She's not plumb. So I'm just gonna wait here until she plumbs out a little. She searched there, she figured out a move, I went ahead and released. I don't think she was completely plumb, but I liked how she went to correct herself, and I wanted to release and give her a good try for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and go down the rein, C-shaped pattern out and around. If she moves, that's okay, I'll just stay with her. She's pretty level there, but I'm just gonna wait. I'm not adding any pressure, I just have the weight of the rope in my hand. If she were to be holding really, really tightly on my rein, I would put a little bit of life, and even right now I just have a little bit of life in my hand so that it gives her a sense that I'm not dead up here, I'm not just holding a brick wall. It was nice because she kind of gave to the pressure there, but she searched and she ended up crooked. There, I'm going to release for that. So she leveled her ears out, and she also got really light. So you guys can't see that from the video to feel it, but it felt like she went from 5 pounds to just the weight of this rope. And when that happened and the ears were level, I wanted to release and give her a break. I'll do that on both sides and make sure that she can bend. So again, I go, she says, oh, something's over there. She can feel this part. It's really important. She can feel me coming down the rein. So that's the start of it. And as they get even better, you can start going down the rein and they'll start looking for you. They'll feel back for you. So this is me coming down. She feels all this. I close every finger one by one really lightly till she comes around. That's pretty darn good. She stretched a little bit far, so I'm going to wait, and there she got to level, so I released. Good girl. So the other part that I'll do is ask her to yield off of this stirrup iron. So if you can see from there, I'll take her around, have her look at me a little bit, there we go. And then I'll just bump her 90 degrees. I'll just bump a little bit here, quietly, starting, bumping just the air. Then she goes and yields the hindquarters, and I stop the bumping. I hold the bend until she stops, and that's a one rein stop. So I'll do it from this side so you can see. And I put her in a 90-degree bend, and she says, I'm overbent. 90 degrees soft, and I'm just going to take the stirrup. Think about it. She's already thinking about it. There we go. I want her to do it because I asked. Then I release the leg, hold the bend until she stops, and then I can release. Good girl. We'll also do this by sending her around. So I'll send her out on her unified circle around me. And at a given point, I'll do it where you guys hopefully can see. I'll go down the rein, bring the rein up to a 90-degree bend. I hold the back of the saddle to give me some support, and I just keep her in that same bend. My hand is lightly here, waiting for her to stop, and I release right away. She says that's the one rein stop before you get on. I'll show you how I get up on her on the mounting block. I've been teaching her how to come to the block. So I just put into play all the groundwork that we've already done with her, leading her, having her yield her hind. So as I get up here, I'm going to offer her to come forward off of the lead. She comes right in, and I give her soft pets and say, "Oh, what a good girl you are." So let's try that again so you can see one more time. I'm just going to ask her to back up. A bump. She comes up. Perfect. She's doing this great. If she were to have her hindquarters out, I would just send her away, yield the hindquarters, bring her in. Send her away, yield the hindquarters, bring her in. And then always right here when she comes up to being closer and here, it's the best place ever. Super soft, super nice, big, strokey pets. Telling her like that's just money, you know, that's the softest place you could be. And then this becomes something that she really likes to be. So I've been doing this pretty steady every day because I know for her, her adopter might want to be using a mounting block. I want to know that she can come up to something like this. And so now she snugs up right to it and waits for me to get on. Hey, all the safe horses, we teach make sure that they stay while we get on them. I'm gonna go ahead and get on. No. I'm gonna have to check my girth, but I'll do that in just a second. The first thing I do after we're just standing and being nice and quiet, just ask her to do that same thing I did before, so she can bend and get petted. The other side, bend, and get petted. Good girl. Take a step forward. The very first thing that I want to do is establish that she can walk around guided by my legs, and if I need to, bring in my hand just to guide for a stride and let go. So I'm going to change direction, look the new direction I want. My legs are guiding her around. Pick up her inside foot, place it if I need to with the rein. Look the new direction. Doing great. If I want to make the circle a little smaller, I'll time up with that inside front foot, bring the rag in, and I'm just leading her from the top here. So I'm using my rein as it's anchored to that inside front foot. So if I place that foot forward, I'm leading that foot forward and maybe into a smaller circle. Here I'm leading it smaller. Maybe I'm putting it at 2 o'clock, making sure she keeps walking forward. Good. If I want to come all the way down to the one rein stop, I bring my hand in, down the rein, bend in that C-shaped pattern, and bring her to a halt. And do that again. Wheeling around the circle. She's shaping up nicely. Go down the inside rein, bend her 90 degrees, hold the bend there, wait for her to stop and release. Tasara likes to be a little bit of an overachiever, I call her. So when I go to bend, I have to think more of a soft bend around because she'll tend to want to overbend too tight. So instead of bringing her head 90 degrees, like some of the other horses, that helps a lot for them. For her, I just want to tip her nose in and feel like we have just a nice soft curve as we go around. And then maybe we bring that in just a little bit more and yield the hind around. So I'm just careful how much I ask for in the bit, because she will pop her head so close to my leg and I want her to stay out there. So I'm always just kind of lightening it and asking her to keep walking. Working on the different ways to halt her. The first one, of course, is the one rein stop, being able to bend her around, slow my seat, bring myself into a halt position in my seat where I put the pockets of my jeans down onto her, relaxing. The second way that I've taught her how to halt is as she's walking around. Not, see, overachiever again. Bending? You want me to bend? No. The second way I've taught her to halt is just by feel, so we'll be walking around. Now relax and quit riding. Sometimes petting her hind here helps me kind of relax and sit back down. Can also do it by petting up here. Maybe a little bit of pressure on like her front withers here, kind of just saying, yeah, nice and soft and deep, and just saying, I quit everything. I let go of riding. I let go of the expectation of you stopping even, because if I'm anticipating you stopping, she feels that anticipation and she goes off trotting. So she's doing pretty good about that feel. We've also started to teach her how to do a little bit of soft feel. With a soft feel, I want to be able to hop down my reins, bring a little bit of pressure to the outside on the reins, waiting for her to give and release. I want her head to be the pole, still the highest part of her body. I want her to drop, so if there was a pendulum hanging off of her forelock, it would hang straight down her nose instead of hanging far out where her nose is tucked too far under. Again, I just go down, hop down the reins, ask her to give to the pressure, wait till her head raises back up again, and release. And of course, waiting also for the rein to feel light as just the weight of the rein, no pressure in the mouth. If she's fighting it or having some conflicts with it, I just wait there and just wait on her. I don't increase or do anything different. I just wait till she figures it out. There you go, and I release. When we're ready to ask her to back up, we always want to go from the soft feel to the back up. So I ask her for the soft feel, wait till she raises her head back up. And just wait on her. She's searching, figuring it out. My legs are just on like gravity on her side. They're not tight or anything like that. If she gets confused about it, I might put my leg on a little bit and say, no, not backing up just yet. We talk about it, so she's thinking about it. There, I'm going to go ahead and release for that. Try again. Get just the soft feel. Have her raise up in the pull. Release a little bit. Ask again. Now I'm going to take my legs off and shift them forward a little bit. I turn my hands and ask just for her to come back. One stride to start with. Release. The release is important so that she doesn't get mouthy and start playing with the bit too much. She's still figuring out what the bit pressure is like, so it's important to get her released. Released is completely down, and you can tell that you've released if your slobber straps are hanging off of the bit, not up like that. So, put down the rein, ask for the soft feel to happen. Take my legs forward and off, change my hand position and ask her to take a step back, release. I'm going to ask her for another stride, take back, release. One more stride, take back, release. So we just build on that. walk. Ask her to give me a little bit of soft feel. Wait till her head raises up a little bit. There you go, release. Rain. Ask for the soft feel. Wait till her head pops up a little bit. Good. And take my legs off and sit down. Ask her to halt. Ask for the soft feel. Bring my legs forward. Ask her to take a step back. That's how I start having her learn pressure in the mouth with the bit. Having a little bit of soft feel. Wait till she gives. Wait till it gets light in my hand. Keep my leg on so she doesn't think back up. My leg's just on her side. It's not putting pressure. But if she starts to back up, I might flutter my legs just a little bit and say, no, that door's closed. No need to back up. Good, there. She released and was not tight. We'll try to do that again. Get her to release. Wait till she lifts her forehead up. There we go. And then I'm just going to lean forward a little bit and ask her to go forward. So that's something we're going to work on. We call that threading the needle. So we'll work on soft feel to a halt. Rein back to stride. Release. Pick up the soft feel. Wait till she brings her head up. Lean forward a little bit. Ask with my legs fluttering on her side. Thread the needle up till she stops pulling. Wait till she's soft and release. And just repeat. So down the rein, soft feel, keep walking. I didn't say stop yet. Keep walking. Take my leg off, sit down in my seat. Ask her to take a step back. Release. Wait a couple seconds, 5 to 10 seconds, so that she knows there's times she has to stop. That's the other thing with her. She likes to stop and then go on to the next thing really quick. So we're out on the trail, I would stop, and she's like, oh, I gotta keep walking. There's time to be patient. Sometimes we sit and chat with friends. Pick up the rein, ask for the soft feel, wait till she gives up to the pressure, brings up her pole. Waiting just on her there. Lean forward a little bit. Flutter my legs as she comes forward into the walk. Wait till the pressure's gone. She kind of took up a lot of rein there. Wait on her. Ask her the inside here. There's good. And then release. So just play with that over and over again. Do something else. Play with it a little bit more. I always want to make sure that I give her some rein after we do a lot of stuff with the soft feel, because she's going to start getting mouthy if we're all in her face all the time. One way that I'll bring her down from the canter or the trot is to do a soft semicircle, asking just to bring that 90-degree bend softly in with her, not too much bend. A little bit of inside leg to help her balance around that inside and come down off into the trot or into the walk. Second way I can teach her to stop too, building upon what I was doing already, building a little bit of soft feel, putting my seat down, asking her to halt, take my legs off, and having her halt, releasing. After she does a step backwards, release right away. knows how to stop is, again, that heading to a stop, up to the canter, relax my body down, put my seat down, let everything go, usually petting her on her bum, that helps, and letting her just come down all the way to the halt, giving her a nice break in between all those. So she has 3 now ways to stop, which are getting pretty good. The soft feel to the halt is still the newest of all of those, so I make sure to practice that one only after I've done the other 2 in my routine. So every time I get on her, it's important that I first go off of feel, second start into the 1 reins, and third then bringing 2 reins in.